because right now on camera I appear like I'm open and whatever, I'm really like I'm fun and all that, because I know I'm fun. I'm a good type. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Iman, and today I am doing a Q&A, and actually this is my second Q&A because the first one I did was actually my second video on my channel, and I'll put it up here. It was a get to know me, but I've realized, and that's really something I'm trying to work on, I really want to have more communication and exchange a lot more with you, have more interaction with you. So I thought it was a good idea to do this video, the second one in like over a year. So I asked on my Instagram story if you had questions. So I didn't get like 100 questions, of course. I got a good number and I selected 10 because also some of them I already had kind of answered them either in previous videos or in my get to know me, or it's more personal, so I don't really feel comfortable sharing that, at least not yet. I don't know if at some point that's something I'm going to be sharing, because I still like to keep my private life private, like, of course, but I really want for you to know me a little more personally without getting into my actual private life. So 10 questions, a lot of different topics. I tried to have them in different orders so they just like make sense, but also not really. So I received them actually in French, because on my Instagram most people speak French, but I had to translate them. So if you see me looking that way, it's because I'm looking at the translations. So let's go. Question number 1. So you guys know I love food. So the first question is the best restaurant in Abidjan. So that's a tough question, because you know I like to eat and I like going out to restaurants. Abidjan has a lot of very nice restaurants, but I just to answer this question, I'm going to take into consideration first the food quality, the prices, the atmosphere, the ambiance, the quality of service, and also how close it is to my house or not, like how easy it is for me to access. And also just thinking back for over the past 2 years, what was the restaurant I found myself returning to more often than others? So the answer would be Kajazoma concept. So it's in Deux Plateaux Cocody, if you know Abidjan. Because I feel like this restaurant, first of all, it's super beautiful. I believe it used to be a house, but they rearranged it as a restaurant, so you have a nice pool. They also exhibit some art over there. The food is great because it's at the same time it's like staple foods, but they all have kind of a twist to them. You have a lot of very traditional local foods they put a twist on. You also have some Western food with a local twist on them. Price wise, it's not crazy, and what I also like is the food tastes great, of course, but the way it is set as a place, you have different ambiance, you have different rooms, and I feel like whether it's like if you're going with friends, with family, if you have like a birthday or something like a business lunch or dinner, all of them can happen there. So definitely if I had to pick one, and that's not to say that other restaurants are trash, of course not. Again, there are a lot of great restaurants in Abidjan, but it's just like as an overall, I would say that's my favorite one. And also because when I look even back at my stories on Instagram, that's the restaurant I feel like I've been to the most in the past 2 years. I must have been there like 4 or 5 times, despite the fact that Corona happened. And actually, when was the last time I went? That's a good question. I think it may have been maybe January this year, or maybe December last year. So it's been a little while, but in the past 2 years, I know I've been there at least 4 to 5 times. Next question, still around food, and oddly enough, it kind of is connected to my previous answer. It's my favorite ice cream flavor. So why I say it's connected to the previous question is that I usually get it after eating at Cajazoma. So it's the kids, it's the Cerelac flavor ice cream from Régis. So Régis is kind of a local ice cream chain. They have them here, and I think they come from Senegal, I'm not too sure. So they have a lot of various flavors, and they make a lot of flavors that are very local, adapted to our local tastes, with like local ingredients, fruits, etc. So Cerelac, for those of you who don't know what Cerelac is, it's pretty much an infant, children, babies breakfast powder, except here it's mostly adults that eat it. So we've all been really used to eating this as breakfast, even as adults, and it's like, it's just a warm and very kind of calming and soothing taste to me. So they make ice cream with that taste, and it's absolutely beautiful. I just love it so much. So the thing is, most of the time when I eat it, it's actually every time I go to Cajazoma, because it's nearby, it's not far from Régis, so I always finish. I never get my dessert at Cajazoma, or maybe I did once or twice, but when I finish there, then I go to Régis and get some ice cream, and that's like a perfect evening for me. Next question is, how do you deal with a horrible boss? And actually that's a question I had a long discussion a few weeks back with one of my followers on Instagram, and she was like sharing her, like, the difficulties she was having at work. And I know that's a video I posted about how to deal with the toxic work environment, but I feel like this is such a deep topic, because especially here, I don't know if it's cultural, but I feel like here this is something I hear a little too often. People have so many bad experiences at work. It's like work is not supposed to be hell. Work is supposed to be because it's a place you're going to spend a lot of time there. It's supposed to be somewhere you're comfortable. It's supposed to be, I'm not saying you don't get pressure at work, it's work. But I think the most important thing for work to be a positive win-win situation, because that's really what it is. It's literally, you are selling your time and you have to win at it, and the company has to win through the work you're producing. So to me, a horrible boss, the only way to deal with them is to establish respect. And when I say establish respect, it's establish respect, you respect them, but that happens most of the time, at least at face value. Like most of the time you respect your boss. If they give you indication, you do the work, but it's both ways. I feel like your boss has to respect you. He has to respect your time, has to respect your work, and has to respect your intelligence and you as a person. And that's something I really don't play with. So respect in life in general, but at work in particular, I feel like with no respect, it's not a win-win situation anymore, and then something has to change. And it all depends on how strongly you feel like the situation is affecting you, affecting your life altogether. So I really think you should watch my video on the toxic work environment and how I dealt with mine. But yeah, I think you have to establish respect, and as soon as you're sensing something is going not right, something is not right with your boss, with your manager, as best as you can, try to communicate it. But then that also comes with how receptive your boss is, because it's some bosses out here, child, you don't even see them to be trying to discuss with them. That's the thing. So you have to communicate. You have to be like, okay, so this happened, I'm not comfortable with, how can we improve, etc. I think that's really important. So building respect through communication. And then if it ain't working, well, start looking for other things. Like, again, work. Like, I understand sometimes people say, oh, in Abidjan it's so difficult to get work. This is all in your mind. You have to, we all have to stop thinking that work should be hell, because there's not enough work for everybody here. Trust and believe your opportunity, your dream job, your dream work environment is somewhere out here. And sometimes God is actually pushing you to quit or to move on or to do something before giving you what you want, what you truly want and truly deserve. So yeah, discuss, but always establish respect, establish boundaries. Super important when dealing with a terrible boss. And sometimes, yeah, they won't understand you, but at least you know you've tried. Next question, we're getting into fashion, is if I wear a pair of shoes, what would I be? So a few years back I would have answered sneakers, but that was because I was living in France, and 80 to 85% of the time I was wearing sneakers. Through the seasons, it was just like the easiest to have. Today, because I have changed, my environment has changed, my style has evolved, I would say a pair of wedge sandals, because I feel like they're very versatile. So depending on what you're wearing, I feel like they can be dressed up or dressed down. They're at the same time feminine, and they're also comfortable. So for those of you who are not too fond of nice high heels, because these can be real painful now, wedges are a great starter, and I feel like they're very versatile overall. Next question is, what is my favorite bag? So my favorite bag, I don't like, the question was a little, maybe it can be ambiguous. Is it my favorite bag overall, or is it my favorite bag in my collection? So I decided to answer more my favorite bag in my collection, because if we're extrapolating, we're not going to finish this video. So actually my favorite bag in my collection at the moment is this one that you have seen for sure before, my Apart Africa bag, personalized with my name. Not only is it black, so super easy to wear, it has my name, it's personalized, so it has like a soul to it kind of thing. And I just find myself wearing it super often. Whether I feel like it's something you can wear day and night. You can wear it to work, you can wear it if you're going to dinner, if you can wear it shopping. And the size is also good too, because it's not too small that you can fit nothing in there. Actually, I can fit pretty much my essentials in there. So yes, this one is my favorite bag. I will link up here and also in the description box the videos where I mentioned this bag if you need more information. But definitely a great investment. I got it last year for my birthday. Yeah, for my birthday. I ordered it before my birthday, but I received it in like December, end of December, beginning of January. But definitely worth the wait. Next, my dream vacation place. I had to answer this one because I think it must be somebody that has not been following me for some time. Even like the past week I talked about it. It's Zanzibar. I mean, I talk about Zanzibar all the time. I've been talking about Zanzibar, about going to Zanzibar for at least 3 years now. It really has to happen, y'all. Has to happen. 2022 is the year. I'm getting ready for Zanzibar. Like, even my weight loss journey has to do with the fact that I want to look fine on the beach in Zanzibar, sipping on cocktails without alcohol, of course. But yeah, Zanzibar is my dream destination. That's for the fact that it's super beautiful and it's in Africa. So yeah, 2022, I'm manifesting, I'm saying it, I'm praying it's going to happen. And I'm even thinking about getting like a professional photo shoot done. That's how ready I am. Next, my best memory of 2020. So I know for a lot of people 2020 was a terrible year, but again, I have to say, with like no shade to anybody else, but 2020 was actually one of the best years of my life, because I like on a personal level, it allowed for me to like grow and learn so much and change and evolve so much. And I got so many positive things out of 2020. But I would say my best memory of 2020 altogether has to do with family, because I'm a family person. So I'm not going to go into too many details, but pretty much in 2020 I had a lot of new arrivals in the family, babies coming, and that's really my best. So it's not one single moment, it's just the overall arrival of these babies that just like made my life so much easier and so much better and so much happier. So yeah, the new arrivals in my family in 2020, they have to be my favorite memories. Next, my favorite book. Actually, I'm thinking about doing like a video about books, because to just let you know, I've never really been a big reader. When I was younger, books, literally I would read a book if I wanted to sleep. That's how boring they were to me. But at some point I started incorporating them in my daily routines. At first it was in the evening, now it's more in the morning. And also I included audiobooks, but I was really getting like physical books. I have a lot of them. So there are different categories. There are a lot of books that I read about Africa. There are a lot of books that are like more self-help books, motivational books, inspirational books, business books, etc. So if I have to pick one, maybe one that really helped me change my perspective a lot, it is The Bright Continent. I forgot the author. I think is Dayo Olopade, something like that. I will link it below. It's just a book that made me so freaking proud of being African, made me so freaking proud of the fact that we have our own unique realities that not everybody has to understand, and which is totally fine. And that's also the other point of it. Not only did it make me so proud of the African continent as a whole, the other message I got from it is that people can see you from outside and judge you negatively for something you're doing, but deep down on like your own level inside of you, you know it's right for you, you know it's the right thing, so you should still move forward with it. So yeah, I'm going to do that video and maybe get more details about this book, but it's my favorite book because again, it had this dual aspect of the African woman in me and the woman in me that wanted to grow and learn and get into growing to her own person. But there are a lot of amazing books out there that really help you, like depending on what your struggle is, I would say, or what you're trying to learn, there is a book for everybody. Like, trust me, books have helped me tremendously for the past like 2 to 3 years to really grow and evolve. So I will do that video because I think, yeah, it's still books, it's still coming from my point of view, but you never know where help can be coming from. Next up, I consider myself an introvert or an extrovert? Of course I'm an introvert. What do you mean? And there's also something here, like people think that because you're an introvert means you're shy. Because right now on camera, I appear like I'm open and whatever. I'm really like, I'm fun and all that. Because I know I'm fun. I'm a good time. Like, trust me, I'm a good time. But I am an introvert. And that's not to say that I think being extroverted or introverted is better than the other. I think in life you need both. But me personally, I'm super happy with being an introvert because I know at first it can be difficult for people to understand that you don't always have the need to connect, the need to go to other people for reference, for opinions, etc. But I think that's also something I've grown to become proud of and happy about, because at one point in my life, I felt like I didn't have that need to really connect to others at all times, and people were perceiving it badly. But to me, being introverted, the great point about it is exactly the fact that you do not need interactions, you do not need outside validation to be happy and to be content. And the fact that you can recharge your own batteries, that's super important to me, because I've seen, like, as I've grown, that not everybody around you understands you. Not everybody around you wants the best for you. Not everybody around you wants to be helpful or is honest, or like, so the simple fact that you can take that power within you is tremendous. It really like changes a life. And again, that's not to say that being introverted is better than being extroverted, but for me that's what works, and that's what I'm happy about. And last question, I picked that one because it's about cosmetics, you know, cosmetics is really like my field or whatever, and also because I found it was an interesting thing to think about. Like, so it's, if I were to pick my 3 staple products, like if I had to have only 3 cosmetics products that I used, like I get rid of everything else, which products would they be? So I picked first this. This has been my favorite for years and years, especially when I back in France with the winter, etc. It's a shower oil because I have very dry to atopic skin, so this works perfect for me. It's soap free, so for people that have more gentle skin, it's amazing. And also because it's a hygiene product, so your people showering morning and night is super important, so hygiene. And also because it doubles as a moisturizing, as a moisturizing cleanser. So I feel like it's like a 2-in-1. So I shower, and at the same time I don't always have to put a moisturizer afterwards, especially because right now we're talking, I have 3 products, so I'm not going to waste my time on like a body cream, a face cream, and whatever. I use this, it works for face and body, so this is number 1. Number 2, I picked this. It's a shea and cocoa butter whipped cream, cause this, yeah, I have my shower oil that I can use for face, body, and it moisturizes, but this, honey, I can use it as a pre-wash and as a moisturizer for my hair, and I can also use it for my body. I can use it for my face, for my lips. This is the bomb.com. You can see I use it a lot, and the texture is very, very nice. So I have this one from the brand IS, but I know there are a lot of brands out there, but I really like this brand in particular. And then last one. So this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned some things about me. And definitely, if you have other questions, you can put them in the comments. You can also follow me on Instagram. If you send me a DM or a comment, I always answer. That's like something I pride myself into. I always answer messages, because what's the point of sharing content if when you get interaction you do not reply? Actually, a few weeks back, one girl was very surprised that I actually replied and went into details. It was about my video on the VIE in French, and she had a lot of questions about returning home, etc. And I really took the time, because that's what the point of it is. It's not a monologue, it's a dialogue. So definitely, if you have questions, don't hesitate. If you have comments, suggestions, always, I'm open to answering everything, as long as it's appropriate. Now, if I don't reply, that happens from time to time. In things that may be inappropriate, I won't answer, or I will stop answering. But besides that, I'm really open. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.